Hi and marhaba, and it's my great pleasure that you continue the journey with me into the story of the Middle East. I hope from my heart that you are enjoying these episodes. If you have watched them, if you have watched the previous 5 episodes, but you can go anytime. Today, episode 6 will be the last episode of part 1, the Middle East Ancient Civilizations. This episode is very important as it tells the story of the great Roman and Byzantine Empire of the Middle East and the rise of Muslim Arabs as a new world power in the 7th century. So welcome into episode 6. Right, okay, pay attention. Let's tell you the story of the Roman Empire, which was established here 27 BC, before Christ's birth, and then it carried on until 453 Christ era AD. But actually Rome was established in 750 by Romulus. There's another story. So this is a European empire. It's not a Middle Eastern empire, but there is a Middle Eastern empire anyway. But they were invaders and had a deep impact on the Middle East that I will discuss with you. I'll tell you the story now. Right, the empire was so huge that the Emperor Diocletian decided to split the empire into two. The western side, the Western Empire, which kept the name the Roman Empire, and the Eastern Empire, which took the name the Byzantine, from Byzantium here in Asia Minor. So it included part of Southern Europe and Asia Minor and the Levant, Egypt, and part of North Africa. That's the Byzantine we are concerned with, who came in touch with the Arabs and Muslims. So as I said before, the Romans invaded the Middle East. They invaded in 64 until they were expelled in 632. They were expelled from Palestine. So they were expelled from here, from Palestine, from nowadays Turkey, and from North Africa. What was the contribution of the Roman? The Romans contributed law, rule of law. Many modern legal systems are based on Roman laws now. They contributed religion. They spread Christianity. Language. We talk of Romance languages which are based on Latin, like Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese, Romanian. Those are based on Roman Latin languages. Engineering. They are famous for aqueducts. I've seen that in France. Very amazing domes, arts, and architecture. They are famous for their architecture. But most of all, they are famous for the Gregorian Julian calendar, which we use now. We are 2019, and that's Gregorian. And days of the week, and also days of the week. Right. As I said, Roman time in history was very crucial for the Middle East and for the whole world. And during Roman time, some events took place that shaped our world. First, the birth of Christ, and then which led to the rise of Christianity. Now, 34% of world population are Christians. Then the rise of Islam, and 24% of the population of the world, 24 are Muslims. But I don't want to say, the Romans did not contribute, but because being defeated by Muslims, this helped Islam spread. Imagine the Romans defeated Muslims in the first battle. What would have happened? What if they defeated Muslims? That's my question. So they also dispersed Jews. They hated Jews and burned their temple. So that was the beginning of the big diaspora of the Jews who came back to claim Palestine after around 1,900 years. Jews came back and occupied Palestine because this is belong to us, and the Roman kicked out of Palestine, and which leads to the Arab-Israeli wars from 1948 until now. The Arabs have been at war with Israel. The Romans persecuted early Christians, the stories, and they were so barbaric. As you can see, they were letting hungry lions attack humans and eat them. So they told them, why didn't you worship the emperor? And the Christians refused and they killed them. But something happened in this year, 1312 AD, a major event. This powerful emperor, Constantine, was the first Roman emperor to convert to Christianity. He became Christian, and religion became the dominant religion in the empire. This led to the spread of Christianity. But let's talk about the war, Romans and Persian. It's worth mentioning. The two superpowers clashed from 92, as I said before. It lasted around 700 years. The second longest war in history. Do you know the first war? The first war is the longest war in history. The longest war in history is the Iberian religious war between 711 and 1492. The Reconquista War, you heard about it, in Spain. We'll talk about that. This is one of our stories in the coming episode in the future. Then during the Roman era, the rise of Islam. Suddenly we see a new world power in 633 coming out of the desert, emerging from the desert to fight and defeat big empires. And those were the Muslims. The story is, which we will be telling later, in 622 the Arabs embraced Islam, and in 636 they emerged from the depth of the desert to take the world by surprise. They came from the desert all of a sudden, from Arabia. They were the forgotten people. They were living the ignorance age. They were just camel riders. At war. They have been at war with each other, tribal wars. They were fighting for anything. They were raiding each other. They were very poor. They were shipping idols, hidden deep in the desert. And all of a sudden, we see them on the world stage, such as disciplined warriors, believers in one, trained soldiers, united tribes under the caliphate. And they defeated world great powers. They defeated the Persians and the Romans. How come? So in a blitz war, Harb Khatifa, they defeated the Byzantine in August 636, and they turned toward the Persians and defeated them in the same year after some month. How come? What happened? Incredible. So we'll be telling the story. So they defeated the Byzantines in the Battle of Yarmouk, a place in Jordan here. And we'll tell the story by Khalid ibn Walid, the Islamic general. And they defeated the Persians in Battle Al-Qadisiyah, the Battle of Al-Qadisiyah, a place in Iraq, in matter of months. That was surprise attack, and that was unprecedented really in world history, and that of course had that impact on us. So this is the end of episode 6, and that's end of part 1, talking about the ancient civilizations of the Middle East, of the Fertile Crescent. But we will continue in part 2, the story of the Arab people, their origins, the rise of Islamic civilization and the decline, and we will look at the history until now. It will get more and more interesting. See you in episode 7. But now, if you haven't heard previous episodes, please go tell your friends, tell your family. I hope you enjoy listening to me. Bye.